Hello and welcome back to this Hard Block Live tournament, game number 3 of this Sunday, the second day of the tournament. My name is Vanilla Nice and I'll be announcing this next game, hopefully joined by Jesse at some point. Jesse, if you can hear this, please come up. The next game starts in few minutes. It's between Helsinki Allstars and hold on, I have the wrong sheet. And Göteborg Allstars. Both of these teams have played 2 games yesterday. Helsinki played Stockholm Allstars and Lomme Bunnies, winning both games. Gothenburg, which is Göteborg in English, they also played 2 games against Lomme Bunnies and Stockholm Allstars. And they lost both of their games. So let's see what happens in this one. These 2 teams have encountered each other the last time in November last year. That time Helsinki took the win by 20 points, which is pretty close, as you know. And Bstrds prediction for this game is Helsinki 163, Göteborg 137. So Bstrds prediction says that this game goes to Helsinki as well. In about an hour and a half, we're much smarter how that plays out. I'm gonna get started with the rosters so that we can get to the game in time. Today, playing in white, it's Gothenburg Roller Derby All-Stars. 101 World's okayest skater. 1-1 Fröken Fräcken, 1-6-1-8 Fred Finta, 2 Sugar High, 2-1 Katriarken, 2-4 Stopless, 2-4-7 Belin, 3 Prinsen, 4-1-4 Ärtan, 5 Femman, 56 Snagge, 6 Chips, 83 Kafka, and on the bench they have Mitra, Bilen, and Bumblebee. Playing in green today, Helsinki Roller Derby All-Stars. 007 Bond, 080 Querica, 1 Allu. 13 Jemina Lugora, who's also the captain of the team, 156 Mia, 22 Malou, 312 Speedy, 33 Soikkeli, 4 Pale, 455 Joanna Koskinen, 63 Pirkko, 777 Gilbert, 80 Myy, 800 Catastrophe, 931 Piu Piu, and on the bench Riina, Elsa, Ane, and Ninja. So that's the first whistle of the game. That's rolling whistle that starts it all. Göteborg feels Fröken Fräcken jamming in the first jam. And I'll tell you the jammer of Helsinki as soon as I get the glimpse of the number. That's 156, that's Mia. And the game is on. Mia taking the outside line, challenging Göteborg's blockers. Managing to push through, almost, gets pushed out and recycled all the way back to the back. Meanwhile, Fröken Fräcken fighting the front pack. Mia almost through, just pushed in. Gets recycled, again back to the pack. Now behind Göteborg's tripod. Fröken Fräcken pushing Helsinki's tripod in the front pack. Lead is still open. The pack is spread out. 2 triangles. And there goes Fröken Fräcken claiming the lead to Gothenburg, but then gets pushed out at the final second and gets recycled back. So the first one out actually is Mia. Fröken Fräcken calls off the jam. No points for anyone in this first jam. Next up, jamming for Gothenburg 1618, that's Fred Finta, and 22 Malou for Helsinki Roller Derby. Penalty box remains empty, so everyone's on track. Fred Finta pushes through, outside line, Malou hot on their heels. The pack starts racing. It looks like it's gonna be a fast jam. Fred Finta hits the pack and calls it off immediately. 2 points for Gothenburg, 3 points for Helsinki. Can we have the scores here? Thank you. Jamming for Helsinki, 3-1-2 Speedy. And number 6, Chips for Gothenburg. That's the first penalty of the game, and it's a jammer penalty, so it's power jam for Gothenburg. That was cutting the track penalty for Speedy. Chips entering the pack, receiving some points. Gets stuck behind Helsinki's defense, gets pushed out, gets recycled. Tries again, pushed out again. Gets recycled in the stretch 1. Bench tells them to call it off. So it's full 4 points for Gothenburg from that jam, freezing Helsinki's jammer to the box. Gothenburg feels Fröken Frecken jamming, and Speedy starts from the box. Now standing, so soon will be released. That's the power start for Gothenburg. Fröken Frecken claiming lead for Gothenburg. Now Speedy back in the game. Fröken Frecken coming in for points. No pack is called. Fröken Frecken fighting the front pack and claims the first 4 points of this jam to Gothenburg. Speed is stuck in the back of the pack. Fröken Frecken trying to hop the apex, stumbles and has to recycle. Speedy almost out, but then Gothenburg blockers catch them. Now Speedy in the front pack behind Gothenburg's triangle. Fröken Frecken trying to get some speed to hit the Helsinki triangle. Manages to get through, but it was not a clean pass. A back block penalty for Fröken Frecken, so it's a power jam for Helsinki. Speed is still in the initial pass with a helmet cover in Speedy's hand, but not willing to pass it. Gets pushed out by Gothenburg's pivot, gets recycled. Now everyone's skating backwards. Now Speedy's completed the initial pass, puts the helmet cover back on. Outside pack ref signing a cutting the track penalty, but whose is it for? It's for Speedy, who goes to the penalty box right in the last second of that jam. So it's another power start for Gothenburg. They field Fred Finta to jam in this next jam. That was 8 points for Gothenburg and 2 points for Helsinki. And the jam is on. Gothenburg sending a whirlwind offense to break Helsinki's walls, but not managing to get the jammer through just yet. Tries inside, tries outside, gets refused. Now looks like jumping in the middle of the triangle and gets help from pivot number 2. That's Sugar High. Now Speedy back in the game. Gothenburg's triangle stops him and recycles all the way back to the turn 2. So that's lead for Fred Finta and Gothenburg. But Fred Finta gets pushed out and recycled. So the first one through is actually Speedy. Gothenburg calls it off. Thank you so much.
Yes, can't come.
Can't come.
Yes, it's not kind of coming out. So would you like to continue alone, or should I find someone for you?
I don't care. I'll do it. Just. Jamming for Helsinki, that's 931 Pew Pew, and Chips for Gothenburg. Chips challenging Helsinki's defense in the front pack, gets pushed out by Lugora and recycled. Now Pew Pew claiming lead for Helsinki. Gets through, gets out, is ready to get some points. Gothenburg's triangle catches Pew Pew at the back of the pack. In the meantime, Gothenburg has completed a star pass. The new jammer is number 3, that's Prinsen, who gets through the pack. Now both jammers eligible to score. Let's see what Helsinki does with this. Are they gonna run it long? Looks that way. Pew Pew hits the back wall and calls it off. Everyone falls down. One more point for Helsinki. Yes? No, that's 1 point for Gothenburg. I'm sorry. So 4-1 was the previous jam. At this point, Helsinki has 9 points in total, Gothenburg 15. Just over 21 minutes remaining this first period. Next up, jamming Mia for Helsinki. And I suspect it's Fröken Frecken for Gothenburg. Yes, I confirm. That's some fierce jamming hitting Helsinki's front wall. Helsinki's pivot receiving a penalty. So one less blocker to pass for Fröken Frecken. Both teams defending fiercely. Gothenburg also sending number 2 Sugar High to do offense and some defense. Mia grabs the lead for Helsinki. People falling around. Mia hits the pack and gets easy 4 points. Meanwhile, Gothenburg having 2 blockers in the penalty box as Helsinki's pivot is released. Another easy pass for Mia, but results Helsinki's pivot to get back block penalty and skates back to the penalty box. Fröken Frecken stuck behind Helsinki's wall. Meanwhile, Mia hitting the pack again, receiving more points. That was 3rd scoring pass. Mia hits a pack again, receiving 2 more points and then calling it off quickly, leaving Gothenburg to 0. So that was 15-0 jam, which actually results the lead change. Helsinki now 24, Gothenburg 15. 19 minutes remaining this first period of this game. Next up, jamming for Gothenburg 1618 Fred Finta. And 2-2 Malou jamming for Helsinki. Helsinki has pivot in the box. Gothenburg has all the blockers on track. Malou gets pushed out and recycled. Meanwhile, Fred Finta almost through, but then denied. And there goes the lead to Gothenburg and Fred Finta. Malou jumping through the inside line, half a track behind. So Fred Finta takes the easy point, easy 2 points, and then calls off the jam safely before Malou can hit the pack. Now jamming for Helsinki, first time in this game, it's 777 Gilbert. Jamming for Gothenburg, it's number 6 Chips. Penalty box is currently empty. And there, Gilbert finds outside line unguarded and gets through, gets lead. Meanwhile, Chips gets pushed out and recycled way back. Gilbert coming in for points, receiving them and continuing. Chips getting pushed in by Pale, recycled back to the turns 3 and 4. Gothenburg defending fiercely was the word I was looking for. Gilbert receiving 4 more points, coming in for more. Hits the wall with force. Gothenburg now defending by 4, while Helsinki is doing offense with 2 players. Gilbert getting through. Now 1 Gothenburg blocker receiving a penalty, and Gilbert calls off the jam. So that was 12-0 jam for Helsinki, bringing Helsinki to 36 and Gothenburg to 17. 16 and a half minutes remaining the first period of this game. And as we know, after the first period, there's going to be second period. That's another 30 minutes, and after that, the game is over. So at this point, it's still anyone's game. So that was official timeout for clarifying something. Usually it's the points or maybe the penalties. At this point, we will never know. The most important thing is that everything is okay again and we can continue playing. Gothenburg fielding number 1-1, Fröken Fräcken to jam. Helsinki 9-3-1, Piu Piu. 1 Gothenburg blocker still sitting in the penalty box. So Helsinki has a slight blocker advantage. Piu Piu pushing through, maybe with a little bit too much force, receiving back block penalty. So it's a power jam for Gothenburg. The lead is still open for this jam. Now Gothenburg's pivot receiving a penalty. Looks like, there we go, that's Fröken Fräcken and lead for Gothenburg. Gothenburg trying to do some offense in advance so that it's a bit easier for Fröken Fräcken to skate through, and that really works. First 4 points of the jam in the pocket of Fröken Fräcken. Piu entering the pack again with a leap, gets hits in and recycled. Now tries outside, then inside and gets through. Fröken Fräcken twirling like a pinball in a machine and then calling off the jam after catching some more points. Let's see how many exactly. I'm seeing 3 fingers. Yes, that's 7-0 for the pass jam for Gothenburg. Mia jamming for Helsinki. Fred Finta jamming for Gothenburg. Penalty box is empty. Fred Finta getting the lead for Gothenburg. Outside line was working for Fred Finta. Mia still battling behind Gothenburg's back wall. There's a whistle for Gothenburg's blocker. Now star pass, successful star pass for Helsinki. The new jammer is number 80, that's Mu. Gothenburg not gonna run it long. Fred Finta calls off the jam in the last possible moment to prevent Mu from scoring. Successfully doing so. 2 points for Gothenburg. So now the teams are separated by only 10 points. It's a very exciting game. Helsinki 36, Gothenburg 26. 13 and a half minutes remaining this first period. Gothenburg takes timeout. Strategical timeout at this point of the game. Just to calm things off a bit. Maybe talk some strategy, things like that. I want to remind you all that this is Sunday, the final day of this tournament, and of course we have after party. It starts at 7 p.m. and it goes on up until 1 a.m. at Bar Lusister at Hämeentie 50. They will have food. The kitchen is open until 10 p.m. and you get 10% off from all the meals. I don't know how do you have to show some kind of wristband or something, but you can also have discounts for the certain drinks. Oh, mention at the bar that you're in roller derby group to get discounts. It said it there, right there. We are ready to continue. Jamming for Helsinki, it's Malou. And that's it. It's number 3, Prinsen, jamming for Gothenburg for the first time in this game. Malou gets through, gets lead. Prinsen now also out of the pack. Both jammers eligible to score. Malou hits the back wall, runs towards the outside line and then calls it off before Prinsen can get any points. So that was clean and clear 4-0 jam for Helsinki. Gilbert jamming for Helsinki, Fröken jamming for Gothenburg. Gilbert powering through the wall of Gothenburg. One Gothenburg blocker getting sent to the penalty box. And now outside line is fully open. Gilbert takes it, grabs lead for Helsinki. Fröken still behind Helsinki's triangle. Gilbert hitting the pack again. Wanting to get some points. Gets almost stuck behind Gothenburg's triangle, but they have to take the effort to reform the pack, so that's when a crack opens up and Gilbert gets through. Now also Fröken through out of the pack. Gilbert gets hit down, calls off the jam. So perhaps some more points. That's refs negotiating about who did Gilbert pass before calling it off. That's official timeout Oh no, official review. We will hopefully find out in a second or two what's that official review about. It's taken by the green team, which is Helsinki, and it's usually about a penalty. Either a called penalty that they want to get removed, or then a penalty that was not given and they feel like it should have been given. So now the refs discuss what's gonna happen. Did anyone see anything? And if so, should something be changed? So the green team is looking for a cutting penalty for wide jammer in turn 1 in the previous jam. Now the refs discuss about if they're gonna give the penalty, the cutting penalty, out or not. Now the refs give their decision to the teams, explaining why they have made this specific decision. And it looks like this official review went through, since Gothenburg is taking out their jammer and sending Fröken Fräcken to the penalty box for cutting penalty. So it's a power start for Helsinki. Helsinki feels 9-3-1 Piu Piu to jam the next jam. Also, one of Gothenburg's blockers being sent to the penalty box, so Gothenburg has only 2 blockers on track to start this Helsinki's power jam. It's not going to be an easy job, so wish them well. That's the rolling whistle. Everyone's eager to start already. There's the start, the outside line wide open for Piu Piu to run through. So the lead goes to Helsinki. Gothenburg gaining 1 blocker, now they have 3 on track. That doesn't slow Piu Piu down much, except that Piu Piu gets cutting the track penalty, so it's jammer switcheroo in the penalty box. Now, unfortunately, Fröken Fräcken entering the pack with hat in her hand, so there will be no lead jammer in this jam. Fröken Fräcken gets through, completes the initial pass, now eligible to score. Piu Piu also entering the game again. Wow, that was an easy pass for Fröken Fräcken. 4 points in their pocket. Now Piu Piu passing. Okay, that's 4 points for Piu Piu. Both jammers are scoring. Piu Piu twirling through the pack, receiving 4 more points. Now Fröken Frecken being held at the back of the pack. The pack is at standstill in turn 1. Piu Piu trying the inside and making it through. 4 more points for both jammers. Jammers racing each other. Gothenburg's wall at the back of the pack. Helsinki's wall at the front. Helsinki has 1 blocker in the box. Fröken Frecken getting through first. Getting in for more points. Hitting the pack, and then comes the call off. That was full 2-minute jam, 2 minutes of roller derby fun. 14 points for Helsinki, 12 points for Gothenburg. So it's again an even number dividing these two teams. It's 20 points. Helsinki Roller Derby 58 points, Gothenburg 38, just over 9 minutes to go. Jamming for Gothenburg, Fred Finta grabbing the lead for Gothenburg. Jamming for Helsinki, that's Speedy with a hat in their hand. Fred Finta getting through the pack easily, calls off the jam. Just as one of Helsinki's blockers is released from the penalty box, so both teams will start with 4 blockers on track. Jamming for Helsinki, it's Mia and Chips for Gothenburg. Chips pushing outside and grabbing lead. Mia not far behind. Oh no, gets pushed in and gets recycled. Now Fred Finta, no, Chips already in the pack, grabbing points as Helsinki completes a star pass. The new jammer was 4.55 Joanna Koskinen, but Gothenburg called off the jam before they could enter the pack. Next up, jamming for Helsinki, it's Milou and Fred Finta jamming for Gothenburg. Penalty box currently empty. All wheels on track. Malou taking the inside, Fred Finta taking the outside. Oh boy, gets cutting the track penalty. So it's a power jam for Helsinki. Malou is the sole jammer on track. Hitting the pack outside, own team comes to sweep the inside. Manages to crack open the wall so that Malou can get through fairly easily, grabbing 4 more points for Helsinki. Malou getting in for second scoring pass. Met by Gothenburg's defense. Playing it. Someone was playing dirty because I heard a whistle. That's for Gothenburg's pivot. So now only 3 Gothenburg blockers on track, but now fortunately also a jammer for Gothenburg on track. Malou entering the pack again on their third scoring pass. Now Malou through with 4 more points for Helsinki. Fred Finta fighting the front pack, the triangle of Helsinki. Both teams fiercely doing defense, keeping the jammers at bay. Now Fred Finta is free. Only a few seconds left of the jam clock when Mlu calls it off. Next up, jamming the familiar pair, Gilbert and Fröken Frecken. Penalty box currently empty. Both jammers hitting the walls with force. Now Gilbert manages to grab the lead for Helsinki. Fred Finta, half a track behind. Helsinki's pivot gets sent to the penalty box. Now Gilbert grabbing some points, calling off the jam. Nice and clean, receiving 2 more points for their team. So it's 2 points for Helsinki, 0 points for Gothenburg. Helsinki 76, Gothenburg 46. I like these even numbers, makes the work easier for me. Just over 4 minutes to remaining this first period of this game. That's official review for Gothenburg. Oh, used as a timeout. So nothing to question there, just a breather. And just to remind you, this might be the last game for rankings-wise today, but there will be another game after this one starting at 5:30. That's Helsinki Bees against Stockholm Bstrds. B teams for their capitals. They have played each other. The last time was 2023, and then Helsinki Bees took the win by almost 300 points. Quite a win. After tonight, we'll know what happens in this next encounter. Jamming for Helsinki, Piu Piu. And chips for Gothenburg, grabbing the lead but gets pushed out in the final moment and then gets drawn back all the way to the turn 4. Now also Piu Piu turned out or pushed out, recycled a bit, gets back in, gets pushed out again and drawn back again. That was a big risk that Chips took, resulted a cutting penalty. So now this jam goes on for full 2 minutes. Piu Piu is the sole jammer on track. Power jam for Helsinki. Gothenburg bravely defending, but finally Piu Piu gets through, gets the first 4 points of this jam for Helsinki. Now also Chips released from the penalty box, entering the pack, gets offensive help by Sugar High, but gets pushed out, recycled, almost to the turn 4. Both jammers stuck behind defensive walls. Chips has the hat in their hand. Is it going to be a star pass? We'll see. One Gothenburg blocker gets sent to the penalty box. Allu doing some offense for Piu Piu. But now it's a star pass for Helsinki. Star pass attempt. That's the 2 minutes of that jam. 8 points for Helsinki, 0 points for Gothenburg. We have still time for at least one jam in this first period. Next up, jamming Fred Finta and... Is it Speedy? Yes, it's Speedy. Fred Finta grabbing the lead for Gothenburg, but now also Speedy out of the pack, chasing Fred Finta, who hits the pack, calls it off, and grabs 2 more points for Gothenburg. So that was such a fast jam that we're gonna have at least one more. Mia jamming for Helsinki. Fröken Frecken jamming for Gothenburg. One Gothenburg blocker standing in the penalty box, now released, getting back to the game. Someone's getting a penalty in the front of the pack. That's one blocker of Helsinki. Mia grabbing the lead for Helsinki. Fröken Frecken half a track behind. Mia hits the pack and calls it off. No points for Gothenburg. How many points for Helsinki? And now if no one takes a timeout, we're not gonna have another jam in this first period. Let's see. 3 points for Mia and Helsinki. No rolling whistle yet. Everyone just skates out. I guess that's it for this period. There it is. So the first period ended with 87 for Helsinki and 48 for Gothenburg. And now we are out for 14-minute intermission. So see you soon. Hei, tervetuloa takaisin. Muistutetaan yleisöä vielä täällä Ruskeasuolla, että jos lähdette liikkeelle poistumaan istumapaikoiltanne kesken pelin, älkää poistuko kentän vierustaa, ainoastaan näistä yläkerran uloskäynneistä. Se on aikamoinen turvallisuusriski, koska siellä luistelee reffejä ulkorataa usein myös takaperin. Me ei haluta mitään törmäyksiä.
And guess who's back? This is Karma joining Vanilla Nice.
Thanks for joining me.
Yes, and the same thing in English. As you are exiting your place at the stalls, please don't do that along the floor, the track side, because that might create some unnecessary security risks.
Yes.
So exit your place only using the upstairs passages.
Yes. We're almost ready to start with the game of Helsinki Roller Derby A team and Gothenburg Roller Derby. Penalty-wise, the first period was quite even, somewhat more penalties for Gothenburg, 14 in total, as Helsinki has 10 in total. No one's in real danger yet. There's only one skater in Gothenburg that has 3 penalties, but other than that, everyone's pretty much safe.
My favorite thing is that Gothenburg skater penalty tally forms DAD, aka Dad.
So cool.
Yes. Waiting for the rolling whistle.
Yes. So the first period ended with Helsinki in the lead by 87 points, Gothenburg tailing with 48 points. That's relatively small difference,
Yes.
point differential, 39 points if I can count correctly. But still, that's something that you have to be aware of. You can't let Helsinki run too much, too far with their point differential if you want to win.
Yes, and also I think these are sanctioned games which affect the official WFTDA rankings.
Yes, totally. Helsinki currently sitting at 9 at the rankings and Gothenburg at 13. And as we know, the top 12 will go to the Euro champs in mid-June in Namur, Belgium. So, yeah.
Cool times coming.
That's what they are all fighting for this weekend in Hard Block Life. We are still waiting for something, but I'm sure we can get started soon enough.
Yes, and we have a nice symmetry in the penalty box. We have one green skater and one white skater.
That's nice and equal.
Yes. And that was the rolling whistle indicating that we are about to start and go to the first jam of this period. And we got in green taking the star 777 Gilbert.
And Fred Finta, 1618, jamming for Gothenburg. And as said, one blocker per each team sitting in the penalty box. So 3 blockers on track for both.
Helsinki's pivot doing nice offense for the jammer.
Gilbert doing some defensive work, pushing Fred Finta out of the bounds. That's a penalty for Gothenburg's pivot.
And that is the lead for Gilbert.
Fred Finta getting recycled, tries in, tries out, tries in the middle, is refused.
And Gilbert hitting the 2 wall, become 3 wall of Gothenburg. And Fred Finta out of the pack. Gilbert taking no chances and calling it off.
Yes. Again, one blocker per each team sitting in the penalty box. So again, an equal situation to start the next jam. Jamming for Gothenburg, that's Fröken Frecken.
And 2-2 Malou for Helsinki.
Gothenburg taking the front line.
Both jammers hitting the walls. Malou getting hit inside, and that is a lead to
Fröken Frecken.
Fröken Frecken, thank you.
Malou half a track behind. Now Gothenburg's pivot released from the box. Fröken Frecken hits the pack, takes all 4 points and calls off the jam.
The current total is 91 for Helsinki Roller Derby and 52 to Göteborg Roller Derby.
28 minutes remaining of this second period. Gothenburg fielding chips to jam the next jam.
And Helsinki Mia 156.
2 Helsinki blockers in the penalty box, 1 standing, 1 sitting.
Mia doing a little bit of defense to help the
Helsinki defending in the front by 2. And that's the lead for Chips and Gothenburg.
And that is a star pass for Helsinki. Mia handing the star to number 80.
Sneaky star pass.
Yes, very sneaky star pass.
Gothenburg running it long. Who getting hit down?
Yes, that is a defensive choice. On strategic, excuse me.
Now the penalty box is empty again. Chips being recycled back to the tracks 1 and 2.
Mu getting out of the pack for Helsinki 4 points.
Let's see how Gothenburg's gonna react. They're gonna call it off.
Smart.
Yes. Losing, no, that's 4-4 jam.
Yes. AKA 0-0.
Yes.
And that is the 777 Gilbert taking the star for Helsinki Allstars.
Fred Finte jamming for Gothenburg. 1 Helsinki blocker sitting in the penalty box, so they start with 3 blockers on track.
And that is an official timeout.
Yes.
Oh, there was 1 skater too many from Helsinki on the track.
That's good. They noticed it before the jam started.
Yes.
So no penalties issued.
Yes, that is a captain penalty if you fail to notice that.
Yeah. So the last time Helsinki and Gothenburg encountered each other was in November in Stockholm. And that time Helsinki took the win by 20 exact points. And the prediction from Bstrds for today's game is kind of like the same, a bit more.
Oh.
But for Helsinki, so that's a jammer penalty for
Yes.
Helsinki.
Yes, that is Mia taking a seat in the penalty box. And
Yeah, it's a power start for Gothenburg. This is what Gothenburg really needs.
yes,
So let's see if they can capitalize it. Helsinki taking timeout on top of this official timeout. So they have 60 seconds to think about what they're gonna do opposing the Gothenburg's timeout.
yes,
They're gonna
I think they are fielding a different lineup than they
Looks that way.
originally intended. A lot of contemplation going on.
Yeah. Gothenburg doesn't need any plots. They're just gonna run the power jam as per usual,
Yes.
obviously. And the total points at this point of the game are Helsinki Roller Derby 95, Gothenburg Roller Derby 56, 26 and a half minutes remaining, the second period of this game. And that's the rolling whistle, so we are ready to start again.
Yes, only 3.5 minutes gone from this period. That feels strange.
It feels a lot more.
Yes.
The teams are giving Fred Finta some speed. Now Fred Finta hits the pack and grabs the lead very fast.
Mia still being seated in the penalty box along with one of the blockers, number 4 Pale.
Fred Finta hitting the pack again, grabbing some points.
Nice defense by number 1 Allu and 3-3 Soikkeli, and also now joined by the 007, and that is Mia sneakily getting through. Very sneaky.
Very fast initial pass for Mia there.
Yes.
So that's 4-0 jam for Gothenburg.
So it seems, yes.
So just 4 points for that power jam. That was efficient power kill.
Yes,
jam
it was.
kill by Helsinki, of course.
Yes. Going into the jam number 5, we got 777 Gilbert taking the start from Helsinki Roller Derby.
Fröken Frecken for Gothenburg grabs the lead before the pack hits the jammer line or the pivot line.
Gilbert doing a little bit of defense.
Oh no, that was too hot and too heavy. Fröken Frecken receiving forearms penalty. So that's a power jam for Helsinki now.
Yes, Helsinki taking back what they lost in the last power jam against them.
Gilbert completing the initial pass. Now entering the pack for points. Gets slowed down by Gothenburg blockers. Gets some offensive help by Joanna Koskinen.
I think that is the traditional goating.
That was efficient sweep by Helsinki's blockers.
Yes.
Releasing Gilbert now. Fröken Frecken also back on track, receiving points.
Gilbert doing a scoring run.
Still 41 seconds to go this jam.
Yes, Gilbert deciding to run this jam. Right. Yes, Fröken Frecken had the lead before they went into the box.
Yes. Helsinki's pivot receiving penalty, so 1 blocker per each team sitting in the penalty box. Now also Gilbert free. Fröken Frecken entering the pack again.
And Gilbert entering the pack.
Trying to tiptoe the inside line, Gilbert is, but gets hit out and recycled, as is Fröken Frecken. And that's it. That's the 2-minute jam. Results, hold on, let's see. That's 12 points for Gothenburg and 10 points for Helsinki.
And Helsinki has hit the century mark, by the way.
Yes. 23 minutes remaining of this game.
We got 105 points for Helsinki Roller Derby and 72 points for Göteborg Roller Derby. And we got number 22 Malou taking the star for
Jamming
Helsinki.
for Gothenburg, number 6 receiving the lead for Gothenburg. Now also Malou wrestling their way through the pack. Chips is back.
But Malou not too far behind. Chips calling off the jam before Malou has any opportunities.
Saying chips, I want to say bag. I was going to say back. But yes, that was 3-0 jam for Gothenburg.
Okay. Heading into the jam number 7, we got 156 Mia jamming for Helsinki.
And 1618 Fred Finta for Gothenburg.
And both jammers grinding the pack ever so slowly.
Yeah, the pack is almost at standstill, slowly being pushed. One Gothenburg blocker in the penalty box, and that's Fred Finta and Gothenburg who gets the lead.
Mia taking off the star and looking for doing a star pass.
Wow, that's
that was a
proper
tumble.
dog pile.
Yes. That is such a tight back that is kind of hard to see what's going on.
Another sneaky star pass attempt, but
Yes.
Mia hangs on to the hat and now gets through the pack.
Number 3 Soikkeli nicely hitting out the Gothenburg jammer. And Fred Finta being forced to call the jam off.
4-0 jam for Gothenburg. So this is Gothenburg creeping back in the game. 105 for Helsinki, 79 for Gothenburg. Just under 21 minutes remaining.
And currently it is a 26-point game, which is nothing in Roller Derby.
Yes.
And we got 931 Pew Pew taking the star for Helsinki.
Frecken jamming for Gothenburg, getting offensive help by 3 Prinsen, who manages to push the Helsinki wall up in the turns 1 and 2, but now Frecken through, getting lead. 1 blocker per each team sent to the penalty box. Now another Helsinki blocker to the penalty box. Frecken, a little apex hop, and then call off, freezing the 2 Helsinki blockers in the box. Also one of their own, but
Yes.
still getting a slight advantage going to this next jam. Chips jamming for Gothenburg.
And Malu for Helsinki.
That's timeout of some kind. Official? Yes.
Yeah, no dots blinking.
They get unlimited timeouts throughout every game.
Yes.
We are ready to start again. Also, 1 more Gothenburg blockers sent to the penalty box during this official timeout, so it's only 2 blockers per each team on track now. A diet pack.
Yes. But from the looks of it, it looks like there are some really power couples. And that is Jeep's lead.
Chips getting through, getting lead. Malou hot on their heels. Both jammers approaching the pack. Gothenburg blockers in the back of the pack, now in the front. Wow, nice call off.
Yes.
That was very savvy call off by Gothenburg. Chips.
Yeah, I think Chips did some kind of a spin maneuver.
Yes. There,
Very
I think
stylish.
there were some points grabbed by Gothenburg.
We
but
don't know.
Yeah, we don't yet know.
But we know that we got number 312 Speedy taking the star. First time this period, I think.
That's probably true.
Yes.
Fred Finta has been jamming throughout this game and is up next. Official review. Karma will run down and ask or hear what this official review is about. So I will let you know as soon as I know. No official review, no. Okay, that was waved off. So we are ready to continue. And yeah, 4 points for Gothenburg for the previous jam. The jam is on. Fred Finta pushing through.
Being helped by Soikkeli, number 33.
Nice last line of defense, number 33, Helsinki. Now Fred Finta through, getting lead for Gothenburg. And that's a successful star pass for Helsinki. New jammer is number 1, that's Allu.
Yes.
Fred Finta, let's see if they're gonna run it long. The bench is trying to signal something for Chips, who finally calls it off. Let's see if Allu could steal some points. That's full 4 points for Fred Finta anyways.
Going into the jam number 11, we got 156 Mia from Helsinki taking the star.
That was 2 pickpocketing points for Allu.
Nice.
Always the sweetest points.
Yes.
Fröken Frecken jamming for Gothenburg gets the fastest lead in history.
Yes, that was fast, but Mia not too far behind.
Fröken Frecken hitting the pack again, receiving some points. Calling off just on time. Mia was preparing to hop the apex. Some points for Gothenburg. Is that 3? 2. 2 points for Gothenburg.
Yes, it's hard to tell the fingers that a jammer ref is holding up when the floor is the same shade as the skinnies.
Yes.
And going into jam number 12, we got 777 Gilbert taking the star to Helsinki Allstars.
Jamming for Gothenburg, it's number 6 Chips. Almost through, but cuts the track and
That
has
is a
to stay
Gilbert
to
lead.
the penalty box. So that's power jam for Helsinki. This is not what Gothenburg needs right now.
Nope. And in particular, a Gilbert power jam.
Very cool screen offense by Allu. Outside was fully cleared for Gilbert. Gilbert hits the track again, or the pack again.
Shrugs off easily.
Twirling through.
No. 8 points already picked up by Gilbert. Chips returning to the pack.
Now Gothenburg's jammer also back in the game, fighting Helsinki's defensive triangle at the front of the pack. 2 Gothenburg blockers getting sent to the penalty box. Now this
Gilpo seeing maybe a 5 centimeter wide lane in the inside field and taking the advantage.
This is not looking good for Gothenburg. The bench is telling Gilbert to call off the jam so they can freeze the 2 blockers in the penalty box. That was a huge jam for Gilbert.
Yes.
16 points.
Yes.
The total for Helsinki 123 points, Gothenburg 93, 15 minutes and then some left in the game clock.
That is a very satisfying number for Helsinki, 1-2-3.
Gothenburg takes time out. That's very understandable at this situation after that kind of crushing jam. The penalty trouble is something to look out for, especially in games this tight. That's something that could make the game or break it.
Still nobody in serious troubles in terms of penalties. We got two Gothenburg skaters sitting at 4 penalties.
Somewhat more penalties for Gothenburg, in total 24, Helsinki Roller Derby 19. Not that big difference.
No.
But yeah.
Helsinki being hyped at the track after that kind of a jam. As they should.
Gothenburg fielding Fred Finta to jam the next jam.
And Helsinki respectively, number 22, Malu.
So Gothenburg only has 2 blockers on track. Let's see what they can do. Not much. Malou is lead.
Malu looking for scoring some more points to grow that score differential.
Nice blocking by number 24. That's stopless for Gothenburg.
Penalty box being empty for now. Both teams are full on track. Both jammers are doing a lot of work on the track.
Fred Finta through, eligible to score points. I'm suspecting quick call off, and that's what we'll get. So 4-0 jam, or is it 4, is it 3?
3.
It's just 3 points.
Yes.
For Helsinki.
3 points. Thank you, Erika.
Next up, jamming Frecken for Gothenburg.
We got, I think that's Mia, behind Prinsen. Yes.
There's a scrum back. Everyone's mixed. Jammers working the walls. Someone getting a penalty. That's a blocker for Gothenburg.
Both jammers getting hit out.
Helsinki sending Pale out to do some offense, but doing it somewhat dirty, getting sent to the penalty box. Now Frecken almost through, but it's Mia who grabs the lead. Frecken getting pushed out, recycled back to the jammer line.
I think Helsinki may have found their mojo again.
And that's 4 points for Helsinki.
And that is a star pass to Prinsen from Gothenburg.
That's the new jammer of Gothenburg, number 3, Prinsen. Mia calls off at the final moment to prevent Prinsen from scoring. That's 8 points for Helsinki, 0 points for Gothenburg. Just over 12 minutes remaining in this second period of this game.
Yes, and that puts the score total to 134 for Helsinki and 93 to Göteborg Roller Derby.
Next up, jamming Chips for Gothenburg.
And Piu Piu for Helsinki.
Chips grabbing the lead for Gothenburg. That's successful star pass for Helsinki. The new jammer is number 13, that's Jemina Lugara. Chips entering the pack.
Yes, getting stopped by the former jammer, Piu Piu. Everybody kind of being mashed up in the same place.
I'm confused. Looks like Lugara is doing some defense after all, with the hat in her hand.
Yes.
I guess you gotta do what you gotta do to prevent the other jammer. Now pushes out Chips and starts to recycle.
Chips is not gonna look that for any longer and calls the jam off.
Smart tactics.
Yes, I guess Eat the Baby still is very much a strategy.
Yes.
And going into jam number 16, we got 777 Gilbert taking the star for Helsinki.
And Fred Finta jamming for Gothenburg. 1 Helsinki blocker sitting in the penalty box.
Both jammers hitting the exactly same spot. Fred Finta being the first jammer on the track.
Getting offensive help from Prinsen.
Yes.
Someone getting a penalty yet again.
And in that confusion, Gilbert saw their chance and went for a lead.
Oh no, 2 Gothenburg blockers going to the penalty box. So only 2 on track. Nice takeout by Prinsen. Was it enough?
Helsinki coaches are wildly gesturing to Gilbert like he didn't quit it.
Yes. 3 points grabbed by Gilbert. Gothenburg starting up the next jam with 2 blockers in the penalty box. Fröken Frecken jamming for Gothenburg.
And Malu for Helsinki. And that is Malu taking the lead. Fröken Frecken still being stuck in the SPAC, looking for star pass, a star in the hand, but the pivot is wrestling with Malu in the back. A bit of friendly fire from Malu.
The 2 Gothenburg blockers doing an excellent job preventing Malu from skating through. Now also Fröken Frecken is out of the pack, eligible to score. Malu hits the pack once again.
And calls it off.
Just as the jam ends, Helsinki's pivot skating to the penalty box, so Helsinki starts the next jam with 3 blockers on track. Jamming for Gothenburg, number 6, Chips.
And Helsinki 156, Mia. Jammers being side to side at the jammer line. And both furiously wrestling through, but it's Mia picking up the lead for Helsinki.
Gothenburg
making a star pass to number 3, Prinsen.
Mia hitting the pack, gets hit out, calls off the jam. Let's see how many points did Mia manage to grab. 1 point. Helsinki creeping away with the point differential, 144 Helsinki, 97 Gothenburg, 7.5 minutes remaining of this second and last period of this game. Now the point differential is not yet undoable, but
Nope.
it's still Helsinki is creeping away. It's stretching out, and Gothenburg would need a few big jams to make up this gap. Let's see if they can do that. Now it's a real official review. In the middle, taken by Helsinki. We will hear in a bit what it's all about. I'm assuming it's a jammer penalty for Gothenburg, but I don't know for what penalty and what was the situation. I think it's good time to remind you all that there will be an after party today after the last game, which the last game starts at 5:30. That's Helsinki Bees against Stockholm Bstrds. And that will end approximately at 7 o'clock, and right after that there will be an after party at bar Lusister at Hämeentie 50. There will be food available. The kitchen is open until 10 p.m.
Okay, I have news about the official review. Helsinki is requesting a jammer multiplayer to Gothenburg jammer for that last jam.
Okay.
And let's see if it will go through.
I don't see anyone skating towards the penalty box, so I'm assuming it didn't go through.
Yeah, no gesturing either.
So the sole Helsinki blocker, the pivot standing in the penalty box, so 10 seconds or less left
Yes.
in that penalty.
After this 2.5 point timeout, we are heading into jam number 19 with Helsinki fielding, I think that is Speedy, number 312.
Fred Finta jamming for Gothenburg. Gothenburg having a slight blocker advantage at the start of this jam.
Both jammers grinding at the same spot again.
Helsinki is in no hurry. If they can just keep this point differential, they are safe.
Yes.
And that's the multiplayer block penalty for Gothenburg's jammer, so it's a power jam for Helsinki. This is poison for Gothenburg. Oh no! Speed is stumbling as entering the pack. Now up again.
Speedy completing a scoring trip and calling it off, freezing the Gothenburg jammer in the penalty box.
So it's it's power start for Helsinki.
Which is at least 10 seconds long. Because the Gothenburg jammer is sitting in the penalty box.
Yes.
And Helsinki is fielding Gilbert to jam in this power start. Gilbert doing nice maneuver, bouncing on the toe stop and getting the lead.
Helsinki blockers doing an amazing job keeping Gothenburg blockers separate. Now they can form a wall again, trying to contain Gilbert, which is not an easy job, I know.
Yeah.
Fred Finta back in the game, twirling, trying to get through, manages to get through, eligible to score points.
Gilbert still looking for final points and calling it off. Just to maintain that score differential. 3 points to Helsinki in this last jam. 0 to Gothenburg.
I am suspecting a Gothenburg timeout, perhaps, as there are no Gothenburg skaters on track.
Yes, you were right.
So 151, that's Helsinki's score at the moment. Gothenburg 97, 5 minutes remaining this second and last period of this game.
Yes, and Helsinki still could lose this game if they spiraled into some heavy penalty troubles, which we of course hope they don't, because that is not so nice for a team to happen.
Yeah, it's always nicer to get actually to play the game instead of sitting in the penalty box.
Is it?
Yes. I know that from experience as well.
Not saying anything. Because there may or may not be pictures of me taking it easy in the penalty box. And that's a rolling whistle indicating the end of the timeout.
Gothenburg fielding Fröken Frecken to jam for the next jam.
And Helsinki fielding Malou.
Prinsen doing some offense for Fröken Frecken, not managing to get the jammer through.
Both jammers being stuck, but not anymore because Fröken Frecken is out and with the lead, jammer status.
Malou has removed the helmet cover. Wow, nice apex hop for Fröken Frecken, grabbing the first 4 points and breaking the century mark.
Yes, Good for them. Century marks are always nice.
Someone's getting a penalty. That is a blocker for Gothenburg. Another penalty for who? A blocker for Helsinki. So 2 Helsinki blockers sitting in the penalty box currently. Fröken grabbing 4 more points. Sorry.
Yes. Malu still being stuck in the pack because the pivot is in the box, but not anymore. Malu holding the star.
Very cool ducking.
Yes.
Good old cannonball move. Fröken approaching the pack again, hitting some blockers, and getting pushed out, getting back into the track. Now getting recycled.
Yes.
People just falling everywhere.
Malu out. Fröken not gonna look at any further ankles of the jam.
A huge jam for Gothenburg, 14 points, bringing them to 111. So there are 40 points in between these two teams. Just over 3 minutes remaining this second period.
Yes, and I'm worried that I jinxed Helsinki just the jam before.
Announcer's curse once again.
Yes. And we got Mia, by the way, taking the start for Helsinki.
And Chips jamming for Gothenburg.
And that is a Mia lead. Efficient outside lane use from Mia.
Mia hitting the pack, ready to score some points. Getting offensive help by 007.
Chips being stuck at the back of the pack. Still on the initial.
I'm forgetting to breathe. I just hold my breath watching. Mia finds an open lane on the outside, skates through. 4 more points for Helsinki. Chips has removed the helmet cover.
Mia grinding for more points.
Again, the outside line opens. Mia stumbles through.
Eight points to Helsinki so far in this jam. Chips still being stuck at the initial.
Chips also doing defense with a hat in their hand.
Yes. Gothenburg pivot.
Again, the outside line. That's where Mia gets through again and again.
Yes. Some jammers like the track lines and some like the middle. Mia is one for the track lines, obviously.
Big hit
and
by
that is
Chips.
a penalty to Chips.
Yeah.
I think that was a forearm that jammer ref Martin McFly was gesturing.
So Helsinki starts this next jam with power jam, and I believe it's going to be the last jam of this game.
Oh.
13 points for Mia for the previous jam.
Yes, that was a huge jam.
Official review taken by Gothenburg. Is it going to be a real official review or it's timeout? Thank you. So
Thank you, leisurely officials in the audience.
It's really handy.
Yes.
So the final breather before the grand finale.
Yes. "41 seconds in the period clock remaining. I think you could stretch that into 2 jams. If you really tried.
If they're both like power jams. Or
I don't know if you get a lightning fast lead and then call it off and then
And lightning fast, like scoring round.
Yes. Some teleporting, which I'm sure Piu Piu is able to do. Not taking any sides though.
So a power start for Helsinki. Which
And
is gonna
that
be
is Piu Piu, as said, taking the start for Helsinki.
now squeezing through the inside line. That's the lead for Piu Piu.
Helsinki 0-0. Kuerika yelling aggressive offense plans to their teammates.
Piu Piu getting pushed out. Enters the track too fast. That's
That is
cutting
a
the track
track
penalty
cut.
for Piu Piu. So now it's a power jam for Gothenburg. And this jam will go on for the full 2 minutes.
Yes.
Chips has entered the pack, trying to get complete the initial pass.
And that is a star pass to Prinsen.
Okay, cool.
Prinsen is another
Yeah.
one of those old school skaters I was surprised to see to have made a comeback.
Yes, and that's the initial pass completed by Prinsen.
Gothenburg being really happy about this.
Obviously.
Yes.
Now both jammers are scoring.
Are they?
I'm not sure. I know Prinsen is.
Yes. I think it's maybe initial for Piu Piu.
Okay.
No,
yeah,
it
both
was a
jammers
scoring pass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Still 17 seconds to go.
Yes. Piu Piu hitting the pack.
Kuerika pushing Prinsen out, recycling. Meanwhile, also Piu Piu gets recycled. And that's it, good folks. That's the end of that game.
Yes.
We can safely say that Helsinki Roller Derby has won this game. And Gothenburg Roller Derby came in second. But with what points we get to see soon as the unofficial score is turned to final score.
Yes. Currently the differential is 55 points. But let's see if we get some more added to it.
The next game will start at 5:30.
And that is a final score.
That's the final score. Helsinki 170, Gothenburg 115. And the next game starts at 5:30. That's Helsinki Bees against Stockholm Bstrds. And after that, there's after party.
Yes, be sure to hit the after party, which is in Luusister.
My name is Vanilla Nice. I thank you for the company.
Yes, I thank you for the experience and the company as
Yay.
well. Yay. And I thank the audience.
See you, yes. See
And
you in about
yes.
50 minutes.
Yes. Bye.